Hey guys, I didn't want to have to type all this up because I feel like I've been typing all day. This is Tammy Lowe, and I help Heather administrate the site. And today I've been asking a lot of questions. And this last one about Cinderella and fairy tales, I just want to put this in perspective real quick. I think a lot of us have this fantasy about what reconciliation, reunification and stuff would look like with our estranged kids and with grandkids and things like that. And you know, we think that in our brain it has this fantasy of like it's going to be like sunshine and roses and hugs and kisses and going all the way back to the way it was before political differences, before COVID, before lockdowns, before, you know, the world went crazy. We have like these ideas in our head of what it's going to be like. And I'm going to tell you now that it isn't. That's not what reality is a lot of times. I was estranged from my daughter. Well, she's estranged from us for about 1.5 years. I also have a stepson that's estranged from us, and that's going on 3 years. And then I have family members, my brother and his wife and my sister and her husband and wife. So there's a lot of people that like just couldn't stand me for whatever reason. That's okay. If I'm a peach and they don't like peaches, that's fine. I'm all right with that. Not everybody has to like me. But with my daughter's estrangement, that's what hit me the most because I felt like we were close friends. I felt like we finally had like broken off from the mother-daughter kind of thing as much. And we were more like friends. I want to say like not peers necessarily, but like I didn't have to parent anymore kind of thing. And I felt like she could share her opinions, I could share my opinions and things like that. And as it turned out, that was not the case. I could not share my opinions. I couldn't say anything about anything because then she ended up estranging. So it was about 1.5 years that we were apart, and I grabbed and I clung and I tried everything. I tried the triangulation with other people. I tried texting. I tried voicemails. I tried badgering. I tried questioning. I tried not questioning. I tried gifts. I tried stopping by her house. All those things. I tried them. And nothing worked. The only thing that finally worked was I lived my life. I opened up a business in the beginning of 2021, a gardening business. And I put all of my energy into this business. And then I was also doing my regular job full time. And I stopped reaching out altogether. And she had been engaged. And when she broke off the engagement with her fiance and they split up and they had moved into a house together and then she wanted help moving, then she started coming around again. So my husband had always said they'll come back around when they want something. And I was like, oh, whatever. You know, I didn't like to hear that so much because I was trying to think that my kids, you know, were better than like just using people, but that isn't necessarily the case. And so my daughter now she'll call me every now and then. Maybe it's once a week. Maybe it's once every 2 weeks. She'll send me Snapchat stories. Sometimes she'll stop by the house and she'll just kind of hang out all day because she like doesn't have anything else better to do. But I keep it very, very light. I keep it very superficial. I don't tell her hopes and dreams, and I don't parent her, and I don't give her advice. And when she's talking about something, blah, 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 like, wow, you know, gee, that's interesting. And I never say, oh, well, why don't you do this and why don't you do that? Because I cannot be invested in that way anymore. So my vision of reunification and reconciliation and stuff was, again, it's going to be all back to normal and stuff. So like when she leaves the house, my house, she will hug me and say, oh, I love you, Mom. Things like that, which is, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but we also have chickens and eggs. And like in the wintertime, we were really short on eggs. And like she would ask, oh, can I have some eggs? And I'd be like, no, because we don't have a lot. And sure enough, she would just take some with her and kind of laugh about it like it was a big joke, and she wouldn't listen to what I had to say. So I just want you guys to keep I want you to keep your fantasies in check. If you reconcile, if you do something where they finally say, oh, yes, mother, yes, father, you are the chosen parent that I love forever and ever and ever, and they come back into your life again, do not expect it to be the same as it was before. Do not allow it to be the same as it was before, because they're grown adults. Do not parent. Do not give advice. Do not ask about their sex life. Do not talk about topics that they don't want to talk about, like politics, religion. Do not chastise. You're going to have to keep it real different. It's going to be different. And then you might get estranged again. You don't know. You don't know. And just real quick, I'm just going to wrap this up. My daughter invited me to come with her up north in Michigan to Petoskey, which I think is up here. If this is the lower part of Michigan, Petoskey's up here. And she invited me up there. It's Mother's Day weekend. Mother's Day weekend. She'll be out of town, which that's fine. I used to be really anal about, the holidays are the holidays and why aren't you here? And blah, 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 blah. That's fine. But she'll be out of town on Mother's Day weekend. So she invited me to come up north with her that weekend, to go, because she is going to go to her dad's side of the family, one of her cousins. And I was thinking about it because I really like to travel. I love road trips. But and if it was just with my daughter, I could probably do that. And I asked her too, well, what's it going to cost me? And she's like, oh, I don't know, conversation with me. I don't know, meals with me. And she had already paid for the hotel and then some camping. And I was like, oh, I'm so tempted. But I don't trust her. And I don't necessarily want to spend a lot of time with somebody that I don't trust. And I thought it was kind of strange. It was going to be her dad's side of the family, and she wasn't inviting me as like a +1 to the wedding, but she was inviting me along, which, I can find things to do. That's fine. But I don't know. It struck me weird. And I said, I don't need that. And so here's the very, very last thing is if you end up reconciling, you're going to have tough conversations. So my girlfriend was telling me, Tam, you need to have the conversation of, I wish I could, oh gosh, she said the right words too. It was like, I really wish I could have a deeper relationship with you, but I don't trust you. You haven't shown loyalty to me before, so it's really hard for me to trust. And it's going to take some time. And I thought there were some other words she said. I have to check with her and see. I like to get wording from other people that I can say in these tough conversations, and then practice it beforehand, so that when I do meet up with my daughter or whoever it is I got to have a tough conversation with, I have the words in my head to say. And maybe I could do that to explain to why I didn't necessarily think it was a good time to go with her. I'm not sure. But anyway, keep reality in check. Don't let yourself go off into these wild imagination things. One, don't buy into the reconciliation and restoration like fantasy. When your brain starts going about, oh, it's going to be, don't go there. You don't know what it's going to be like. And you're going to feel like you're walking on eggshells for a long time. You may never change from that. You may always feel like you're walking on eggshells with that person, because you're also kind of gun shy, and you may be concerned they're going to estrange again because you won't know how to handle yourself, like you're not knowing how to handle yourself right now. When you can handle that they are making decisions to do their own thing, when you get to that point, then if they decide to go estrange again, it's not going to hit you as hard. And if you can get to that point right now, then if you do have restoration and reconciliation with them, you won't necessarily care about what you say or do or what they say or do, and you won't necessarily be walking on eggshells. If you're confident in your own life and what you're doing with your life and your immediate family's life and your friends and your social group life, if you're confident in those kinds of things, it won't matter to you. You know, if they want to go to Timbuktu and say F you, you'd be like, bye, here's the Snickers for the plane, you know. But I just want to make sure that you're living in reality, not in fantasy. And part of that also is that this is a reality. And I mentioned it to you guys when you first joined anyway. You are not crazy. You're not alone. This does hurt. It's very painful. It is very painful. You're not going crazy. Don't let yourself feel like you're going crazy. It's normal to feel this way when you're rejected. And you are being rejected. If they're just gone quiet and you need them to talk to you or text you or reach out and you need communication, that's rejection. If they are still talking and they're just kind of, you know, little small phrases, but they don't want to like meet up with you and you're someone who likes to meet up with them, that's rejection. Okay? So in this estrangement, you are being rejected, but don't take it personally. Give them all the space they need. Okay? All the space they need. All the space they need. So in these fairy tales, in these TV dramas, and these TV sitcoms, and these Netflix series and stuff, things are usually wrapped up pretty quick. In the Brady Bunch, remember watching the Brady Bunch episodes? Whatever crisis was going on, it was wrapped up in, 20 minutes because of the commercials? It was wrapped up quick. That's not how it's going to go. You're in it for the long haul. You're in a marathon run. Figure out what you're going to do with your life and your immediate family while you're waiting. While you're waiting. You can wait for them to do whatever they're doing and get it out of their system, and you can do things for you. And you can do things for your family, and you can move ahead in your life, because if you're 40, if you're 50, if you're 60, if you're 70, if you're 80, whatever age you are, you're not dead yet. So you might as well be doing something with your life. Figure out why you're here. Figure out what you can do to make your life better and the people around you, and see who you can support, see who you can love on in the meantime. But again, it's not a fairy tale. It's not a fantasy. And just remember that if you do get the chance to reconcile, it doesn't mean it's going to be all, peaches and cream and wine and roses and all that kind of stuff. So, all right, that was long. And if I had to type it all out, that'd be even longer. So I'll see you guys. I love you. If there's no one else that you feel like is in your life, I love you. I love you. I'll be your friend. Whoops, that's my dog. He's a big dog. He's very smelly too. Anyway, you're not alone. You're not alone. Everyone in this group is going through very similar situations as well. So you can reach out to just about any one of us and ask for help if you need it. You can always post your story. The only thing I don't want you to do in this group is just wallow, because wallowing's not going to get you there. Set a timer, set a deadline, and say, okay, or tell us, listen, for a week, I got to vent. I got to vent because all this is fresh in my mind. I got to vent. And guys, after a week, start asking me what I'm doing to heal. What are you doing to heal? So anyway, love you guys. Bye.